Alright, there we are. Let's do that. Do that. And... is this. All right, there we go. Now I'm ready to go. Now. Alright, let's continue talking to you. Life is pain. Now what do you want, my hobbit friend? There's a lot I can ask him. Can you give me some mind healing? Why not? Of course, I am, however, a bit swamped in work right now. I'll get you booked for the slot. I have time after the election, you should come visit then, alright. Okay, I'll do that. Great, I have not had the chance to hold the dialogue with the cleric before. It will be interesting. Truth be told, I am very overworked. I'm struggling with a certain topic. He makes a noise that might once have been a cough. The old man is frustrated. He's trying to avoid even thinking about it. What? I'm focusing on a specific idea of civetics. The idea of two opposing forces, opposite faces of your ego, masculine and feminine. But I just can't seem to get past a certain hurdle. Obstacle. Explain. You see, there is a work called Book of the Mind. It is, in my opinion, Civetics' masterpiece in figurative sense. Oh, is it like a secret book? Is it like a secret book hidden deep in some dungeon? Oh no, I own several copies. There's a rare edition of this book, which contains a rumored so-called final foreword from Civetics himself. In this foreword, he apparently reveals a revelation about his categorization of the psyche. Specifically, on the topic of gender. Truly eldritch knowledge. Might be nothing, but it would be highly interesting to get my grubby hands on it. He leans in and whispers, and more importantly, would bring me a great pleasure to know how much Civetics would be spinning whatever Thasian mass grave he buried in if he knew a halfling like myself was pioneering in his footsteps. Ooh. He wasn't a fan. Like most humans of his era, he was very, let's say, humanity first. Snur leans back into his chair. This final 6th edition of the book, it was only printed in 10 copies. The publisher then hiked up the price in order to sell it to the collectors. These collectors have then spent the last 3 decades using these copies as a form of investment, making sure to keep the content of the foreword tightly guarded secret. How terrible. Scholars' words should be freely available. Nothing is ever free, even if it is free. So what, you want me to find this rare book? He nods. I drank a bit too much the other night, and in my desperation, I paid a diviner to cast Locate Object for me. I didn't expect anything, and it was very expensive. However, she actually found it. A copy of the 6th edition Book of the Mind is here, very close to Waterlane View. And she even told me the exact direction. He points to the floor, about 40 meters straight down. It's in the city below. Oh, and you nah. What was the name of the diviner? Lisa, I believe. She used to have a hut at the top of the Free Strider building. I wandered away, I think. Wandered? Oh, okay. She seemed kind. I hope she stops working for those fucking parasites. It's in the city below. Yes, exactly. And you trust this diviner. Well, trust might be a bit strong of a word. But she was connected to the Free Striders, and while they are ruthless capitalists, they would not keep a scam artist around. Or if they did, it would be very funny, of course. Sounds like a quest. Sure, why not? Delve into the dungeon tunnels below and get that book. Don't get yourself killed, or in exchange I will... Well, what the fuck kind of word do you want? I want you to heal my broken mind. Impossible. No one can fix another's mind. I can promise support, but no guarantee. Choose something else. I don't know. Do you have a magical item or something? He shrugs. I have a books in droves. You know what? The book itself, it's expensive and probably magical in some sense. Get me the book, let me look at the forward, and you can keep the book afterwards. That's still a quest, right? That sounds wonderful. I love quests. I don't need much more than that. I am no expert in what kind of weird shit is down there, but the city below is dangerous, so don't wander blindly. Good luck, cleric. Damn, there's so much more to talk about him with. Guess let's just go down the list. I want to inquire about this folk spirit. Imagine, if you will, the origin of stories. All stories? Yes, all of them. As sentient folk, we clearly have the base ability to come with random ideas and turn them into emotionally resonant tales. Tales that explore the condition of life itself and make us feel many things. But an interesting thing happens if one were to study the core parts of these stories. That even if we look at stories crafted in entirely different bands, separate isolated tribes, or even in the world outside George itself, there's overlap. Should I just let him speak? Stay quiet. Humans who live in the remote mountains of Yim have the same repeated tropes in their foundational myths as humans and reeds. Same for halflings. The Stormbloods of Kargamash have the same variations as my people in Fortnite, despite being separated in esoteric evolution by at least 10 millennia. It's as if every folk is haunted by a spirit, like an unconscious collective dream of concepts and ideas that follow us, even when the separate folk originate from entirely different worlds. Could you imagine? Two folk arrive through two separate gates of Jor. They are alien to one another, culturally, spiritually, biologically. Yet they share those core myths. That is what I'm studying. Don't let him rant anymore, please. Charisma, please. This is our thing. We talk. We explore. We expedite. That's not the word, but I don't care. That is very interesting, isn't it? More importantly, it's provable. A unified soul of people? What happens upon merger? Well, what happens when two folks types merge? Ah, yes. Helix finger. No clue. He's honest. It's even harder to pinpoint due to the nature of merging cultures. In the case like humans and dwarves here in Norvik, there's more data, but not enough to say anything of note. But it seems to me like the folk spirit remains pure in a sense in one direction or the other. For example, humans can obviously reproduce with dwarves, but the offspring is always aesthetically and biologically speaking very human, which does not make sense biologically. We are scientifically speaking different species. Dogs do not breed with cats, do they? The same effect can be seen in most functional folk mixed breeding. Logically, it should not be. Evolutionary adaptation dictates the creation of a mixture, not a one-sided creature. So it is theorized to some type of powerful esoteric effect that allows this reproduction to take place. In the scholarly community, we call it the Oso effect, one-sided offspring. So one side is always dominant. Not biologically speaking, but esoterically? Yes, objectively so. There's a list of this hierarchy in some textbooks, but it's a pretty taboo topic, as you might imagine. One does not like to talk about the mixed breeding. Alright, but doesn't that mean that the dwarves would eventually stop existing in Norvik and just become human? That is a good question. Two people live alongside one another for a long enough time, and they produce with one another equally, but then the offsprings are all aesthetically human, then yes. Eventually there would only be one people, and it would be the people who look human. However, there is a big factor in charge here. That is the elusive and enticing topic of mating preference. There is not much proven data I can point to, but if you allow me to speculate, then I can say only a minority of the population of any tribe will ever have a strict preference for mating outside of that tribe. Without a basic assumption like that, I do not believe the tribe itself will remain intact enough for civilization to emerge. So in the case of the doors in Norvrik, I do not believe the two tribes can ever truly merge. Cooperate? Yes. Cohabitate? Of course. Even mingle and date and crossbreed? Absolutely, why not? But merge? No, impossible. Of course, this assumption ignores the Oso effect, so it feels a bit crackpotty. Take it as you wish. You know a lot about this topic, huh? Once again, I'm afraid this is all coming from experiments performed by Arcanus horrifically so. Ugh, let's move on then. And you think the folk spirit follows the one-sided offspring? Maybe. I have not done enough work to say anything for sure. Nor have I been peer-reviewed. Nor am I very sane or stable individual. He grins. Is there a folk spirit that's better than the others? Better means nothing. There's no much weight to put into making one greater in some perspective than the other. It's just a ridiculous game of dick swinging. Of course, I also hate this horrid idea that every culture is amazing and wonderful and, you know, everyone is holding hands and dancing together. No. Every culture is equally terrible. He's a scholar. A true scholar. But they are all specialized. These symbols will produce a are cloth and meaning based on lived experience. A human living in the frozen tundra will derive and require much different practical uses of those core myths than a man living in a harsh desert, yet each folk type has its own fundamental traits that these symbols represent. That is very interesting. It's a good lot of junk with some nuggets of gold. That much I will say. How is it provable? Reproducibility analysis. Reproducibility and analysis. Cultures and folk who had no contact with one another, even originating from the other different worlds, both have the same core myths. Narrative traits, archetypes, repeated tropes. It's the same method used when uncovering ancient dead languages, using common denominators to narrow down similarities and differences. He adjusts his mustache. Now, there hasn't been that much reproducibility yet in from my peers. I'm still working on getting other scholars on this topic. I think I understand now. The halfling scholar leans back into his chair. I think you've got something. Yeah, no, my man, you are cooking. Oh, do you? He gives you a quick nod. I would not spend my old age here if I did not agree with you, in some deep sense. Thank you for listening to my rant, cleric. Okay, you're an expert in alignment, huh? Somewhat. I wrote my masterpiece on the subject. That should account for somewhat of an understanding of the subject, but not enough. Never enough. Who decides what any of this means? There are theories. A great way to start a talk. Some say it's the gods, some say it's Jor himself who controls the parameters in this world of his. Some believe it's simply inscribed into the universe, an absolute law. Could we change it? Who knows? Maybe you can, maybe you cannot. Can you change your alignment? Of course, any creature is capable of leaning into the axis, depending on their day-to-day actions. So devils are just lazy then. He scratches his cheek. A bit more complicated than that. Look. Like all things, it's messy. Let's say you're a lawful evil. Let's say you're awful evil. Lawful evil, not awful evil. Okay. You find that being labeled as evil is bad for your business, or you work prospects, one might say. So you choose to donate a large sum of money to charity that will inevitably help thousands. You might even save some lives with those spent coins. In this case, you performed an objectively good, selfless action for evil, selfish reasons. So what happens next? You remain lawful evil. But let's change the parameters. Instead, you are a lawful evil man who genuinely wishes to repent, to pay for the many evil things you've done in your life before. If this man performs a selfless action with the intentions of selflessness, then all of a sudden it will begin to shift his alignment. Intention is all that matters. Yes. This effect has obviously been studied for centuries. It's aptly named Alignment Intent Studies. I personally received my scholarship through studying delusional intent. We gather a large amount of very mentally unwell people, mostly from local prisons and post-war reads, who truly believed in a very different worldview than most others. For example, this one man was certain that he had to kill his fellow men, or the world would end. One murder a week. An extreme delusion, however, any detection spell showed him to be neutral good, and he felt terrible about all the murders he had committed. He was not selfish, in fact, he was more selfless than most, willing to perform acts that horrified him in order to save us all. The objective outcome of his actions mattered not, no more than the outcomes of his actions of a person under a charm spell. So you can will yourself into changing alignment? In theory, yes. Wait, does this mean that everything I do is branded as good, evil, chaotic, or lawful? Even this, what I'm saying right now? In some small sense, yes. This very act of speaking, no matter what you say, will always give you a very small points in any direction. Although you could imagine trying to keep track of it all, it would be insane. So no person would ever go to such links, so need to keep track of the stuff like that, it will only drive you mad. Personality and alignment. How do you end up with your alignment? Okay, yeah. How do you end up with your alignment to begin with? Are you born with it? No. All creatures are born true neutral. And all reported metrics show babies are unable to form alignment shifts until the age of about 3 to 7, depending on the folk. But interestingly enough, it is shown that most people will only perform 1 or 2 alignment shifts in their entire lifetime. He scratches his cheek and sniffs a couple of times during adolescence. After that, less than 1/10 of folk will ever shift again. That is fairly substantially verified data as well. So essentially, despite having free will, folk will always lean towards the neutral behavior over time. Natural behavior, not neutral. So we're slaves to our natures. That's not true. We just talked about it at length. Alright, what's the difference between alignment and personality? Not too much correlation on paper. Studies on personality show that there is an overlap. Conscious folk tend to be more lawful. Neurotic, and open folk tend to be more good, to a minor degree. That's conscientious, not conscious. But we're talking about still unverified and very minor correlations. Alright, let's move on. I want to be chaotic good. That is not how it works, cleric. You'd have to be incredibly deluded, and I mean absolutely living in your own world, mentally unstable, in order to simply decide what your alignment were and actually get an outcome from it. But I suppose it can't hurt. Like being... Sorry, what did you choose again? It was, yes? Neutral. Chaotic good. Your heart tells you clearly every day you don't live for you. You live for others against all structural horrors of the world brought to you around you. You're not gonna like it, but the goal is to end up on top, right? Win every conversation? Then you're not really moving along the axis of law, so you're neutral evil. Though seriously, whatever you do not tell that to the halfling. Chaotic good. Right. Good, and a little unorderly. I like it. You know, it's good luck with that cleric. Alright, okay, so yeah, why isn't it illegal to be evil? Might as well make it illegal to be sentient. Branding it as evil might be the core problem there. There were canonists who created alternate naming conventions of alignment, altruism, and egotism, for example, but it did not catch on, as they say. But everyone has to be evil sometimes. Imagine your family starving alongside 2 other families who are also starving. The other family has smaller folk who need only half as much food. Would you feed your own family, or sacrifice them to feed the other 2 families? God, the morality of that question is, rough. I don't have a family of my own. No, it's a thought experiment. Imagine if you do. I guess, yeah, it depends on what the other families are like. They are just as nice and lovely as your own. Right. Well, what would you choose? Yeah, like, realistically, I'd feed my own family here. That is the normal answer, yes. But what exactly is objectively considered an alignment term in the scenario? Is it selfish to care for your own people before others? Has it more to do with the exact number of people who live or die, suffer or prosper? In the purely utilitarian perspective, these questions have all been asked before and have arguably been answered. From what we can see, especially looking at the data collected from horrendously unethical experiments performed by the Arcana scholars, it's just about intention. If a man chooses to focus on his own family, but feels really bad about the other suffering families, then he will be more good than another man who does not think of the other suffering at all. The proximity rule states that the emotional distance between yourself and the target determines the level of selfishness. If you sacrifice your life to protect your family, that's more selfish than if you sacrifice your life for a stranger. The latter is more good. So in the end, a genuinely selfish person will always have a much easier time being branded with good than a naturally selfish one. He scratches his hairy eyebrows simultaneously. They call me the Ab Man. That's all for alignment for now. Okay, good. God, there's still so much to talk about. I will thank you for now. Let's go explore something else. We'll come back. Oh, this man is he's a complete communist. He's voting for the dwarves. Who am I looking for? Was I just there? Yeah, I was just there. I'm stupid. Oh? Alright, never mind. What is that? What is that dot? It's low, but she's saying that again. Okay. There's nothing down here for me yet. Where? Oh, where should we go next? Alright, fair enough. Alright, yeah. Alright, fine. Hunter? Nope. Alright. Well, I didn't check here before. You stand before a damp door in the cramped corner house. The wood is dark, swollen with perpetual moist of water lane. A layer of river mud and algae. Knock on the door. You wrap your knuckles against the wood. Solid, rhythmic knocking. Wait. A moment passes. Then the sound of a heavy latch sliding. The door creaks open. A pair of bulbous eyes stare up at you. It's an Unran, dressed in a tiny velvet smoking jacket. Quite distinguished despite the lack of pants. Oh my god, he's French. Cursed. What is it? He blinks slowly. A translucent membrane flicks across his eyes. I am busy. Très occupé. I wanted to introduce myself. Mon Dieu. Why? Wait. He squints at your uniform. Are you, how do you say, le clerge? I am the cleric, yes. Bond. At least, you are not from the Teeth House. Vanran peeks his head out behind the door. I don't know. It's been like 10 years since I've spoken French. I'm exhausted. My god. Why did you ask if I'm a cleric? Because you smell of incense and self-righteousness. It's evident. Imbecile. This man is rude. I'm gonna ask him for money. Just smile. The kind of smile that opens the wallets. Oh, and kiss his hand. Kiss his ass hard. My good sir. Surely a gentleman of your stature supports the arts or the holy cause. Ah, flattery. He sighs, his throat pouch inflating slightly. I told you. You are charming. Is this in you? You reach for something on the other side of the door. Take these. Now, au revoir. She shoves a fancy bottle towards you. The door slams shut before you can say thank you or anything else. Gain an item. Concentrated rhubarb ale. Mickey Schlucken inside swirls around. Lovely. This will make things much smoother. Right, cool. Well, I wanted to talk to him, but I guess money or ale, in this case, is good too. Hello, Mr. Crab. I suppose I need to actually do shit. You approach the ladder and let's go. It's a long way to climb. Thank the gods you don't have to try hard this time. Climb the ladder again. Take the first step onto the ladder, and then you are at the top of the ladder. Yeah, let's go. Where the hell is the exit? I could have legitimately spent the entire playthrough talking to that hobbit. Sleeping for service to come back after midnight-ish. Right, I have to go look for that person, don't I? I wish I knew what that person looked like. That is a devil. Rexo. Pencil wing. He's an imp, probably. Nope, just straight up devil. Level 2 scribe. Surprisingly content, hard worker, has an vested interest in the current regime. Devils used to be allowed into the city only on work visas, so he could have served several decades. Neat. Later. Sure, let's talk. Huh. You raise your hand to the sky above you, sits a tiny red creature, its wings flutter faintly in the wind. He's just a little guy with wings, reading his little newspaper. Staring at a piece of paper, he does not acknowledge presence. Hello? Hey, little guy, why aren't you on my shoulder? What you reading? A sky escapes the fiend's maw. He slowly puts down the paper. The paper is actually a torn page out of a magazine. I like the funny pictures. I believe the fiend is being sarcastic. I like pictures too. I like the articles too. You can read? Congratulations. He's mocking you. A ridiculously snide remark. I like the devil already. Wait, he says, leaning together with you. On Oathguard? A cleric? What else are you doing here? That reaction, your presence is uncommon. I'm not allowed on Tutslan? Of course you're allowed, just not often you guys are here. I, for one, am very happy at your presence. This place has gone downhill since the city let the goblins and free shooters run amok. Oh no, the devil's a kiss-ass. We need more damn order in this place. Wise words. So, if you need any legal advice, just let me know. He gives you a tiny sharp smirk. You should be aware of the fact that this is literally a devil. A good little devil, says Strength. You can hear out any advice, just don't listen to it blindly, Charisma says. Are you a barrister? A tiny barrister? No, I have no legal position with the city. I'm just fairly knowledgeable on the magistrate's code. So he works with city law, asking for details. He shows you a foul grin. So what type of work do you do? If you love what you do, you'll never work a day in your life, he says and smirks. Agreed. I love being a cleric of Norvik. Good, you should. It's a very honorable position to uphold the law. Now me? I do scribing most days, got some connections with the palace, and believe me, phew, that's gotten me through some tough times. See, whenever some rich asshole needs legal draft in a hurry, who do they send for? The guy with the guy with the wings, that's who. Sounds profitable. Sure is, although there is a lot of time spent waiting around too. So I picked up some hobbies. Who are you voting in the upcoming election? Who am I voting for? Same as you, little guy. The good guys. The Party of Norvik, got it. Oh, you know it. The only good choice. Anyway, you wanted something else? What do you do in your spare time? Calligraphy. A true man knows the value of lettering. Oh, and I do love me some reading. Getting access to the Darwin Library changed my life. The Darwin Library. The largest public library in Norvik. You spent many years in your youth inside it. Inside those stony halls. Alright. He throws up a... It's over by the gods. So dramatic, I love this guy. What does the law have on resurrections? That's one hell of a question. He smirks for a while. Bame's enjoying his pun before moving on. What a sociopath. Higher tier resurrections aren't legal. That's just not available anymore. They're just not available anymore. What about low-level resurrections? There's a Revivify. That's it. Revivify, third level, lettering, so... High-ranking office officials love having clerics around for this one spell. Bunch of pussies. Does murder still count if the victim is resurrected? He thinks about the question for a bit. There's been cases. Heard of a man stabbed in a bar fight, bled out just in time for a drunk cleric to revivify, and the bloke lived. Stabber ended up charged with a major transgression of personal well-being. And that's not murder per se, but I'd argue it had more to do with the fellow's barrister making it clear that to the judiciaries that there was no killing intent. So, not an accident, but not a murder. Just a brawl gone too far. But that'd be a hard sell if the victim wasn't breathing. Complex scenario, something clerics often have to contend with. But in most cases, I'd say yes. So don't go around murdering folk and revivifying them, cleric. Would be kind of funny, but, you know, don't. Are you legally considered alive after resurrection? Yes, for all intents and purposes, you are alive. Undeath, on the other hand, would be very different affliction. How is that defined? As long as the necromancy is considered of divine origin and the soul is returned to the healthy body, then it is considered as normal resurrection. If the origin is more black magic shit, as they say, or some kind of corpse animation, then it would be considered as bodily sacrilege. And that's a top-tier criminal offense. How top is it? Oh, it's up there. Does death absolve you of crimes? Now you're speaking the real questions. But no, it does not. There's been actual law signed into old kingdoms over this shit. Eileen's looking excited. Oh, he's dancing for you. Keep it up and he'll love you to death. So classic story. Alright. A real bad guy is caught murdering his neighbor. Real sick shit. He's executed after a quick trial. Justice wins again. Everyone's happy. But surprise! Some holy man raises him up a couple months later. Death and rebirth. Holy man or foul necromancer. In this situation, the bad guy did technically pay for his crimes. His life was taken by the state. Just because somebody gave it back to him doesn't change the fact, right? Well, people weren't too happy with that, as you can imagine. Thus, the common legal term for these days for the capital punishment is DIP. DIP. Death in perpetuity. Stands for death in perpetuity. Kind of funny when you think about it. Makes total sense. It does. The city of Norvik might be a bit of a bureaucratic mess at times, but believe me, the lawkeepers know their shit. So, to keep the criminals DIP'd, most states tend to hide, lock up, or simply burn corpses and spread the ashes using non-resurrectable methods. So, a properly DIP dead bodies shouldn't be able to return without the use of some kind of miraculous 9th level spell, which obviously these days isn't too likely. Not available. Figured as a cleric would know better than me, but sass. Spells over 4th or 5th level are rarely seen these days. If you want to know why, go pray. Your god grants you magic and his wisdom. He only grants higher power when needed. In your lifetime, it has not been needed a lot. After Earth died, it has been a bit hard for even the top-ranking clerics to manage higher tier magic. At least if you believe the rumor was at the tower, which you should. That's all I wanted about Skull Resurrection. Anything else? I don't care about free legal advice. I'm talking to a literal devil. That's not going to happen. That's a waste of time. What about alignment? Yes. The overrules of morality. Norvik does not moralize over alignment, officially. Nor do most of the city-states across the coast. And you, being a devil, are, you know, yes, they're evil. Oh, yes, indeed. It is very easy to spot. He flaps his wings. It can be pretty discriminatory at times. People assume I have their worst intention in mind just because I'm ontologically evil. People can be so short-minded. You see a grin spread across his maw. He's about to correct you. Small-minded. Yeah, that. Look, evil is not some objective thing. It's entirely internal and aligned with Jor's subjective opinion. There are good people who ruin the world and evil folk who do their best to maintain it. That's the deal. I have some questions about... let's do some tea shop. That's our main quest. We've been still doing so much side. So many side quests. Yeah, of course. Pretty hard to miss when you're flying past Totsland. What's your take? It blew up. Not sure what else you want me to hear. Why do you think it blew up? Honestly? Haven't seen a blast zone like that since the Coast War. You didn't hear this from me, but let a fellow trust you. He's your friend. Strength, why would you fail me? Why would we use strength to test this? Wouldn't it be wisdom? The scorch marks look like those from Fireball, but not the kind you get from Trigger Happy Pit Fiend. We're talking high-level wizard stuff. Yeah. Be careful, cleric. Powerful forces that are work here. Thinking about it for a few more seconds makes it clear to me that this is it's all a big cover-up. Wouldn't be the first time a city-trained spellcaster goes a little off the hinge. There's corruption in every system, even the great city of Norvik. Other than that, not to be self-incriminating or anything, but could be a friend, could be a fiend, or an elemental, I mean. Water lane shipments from Kargamish every other month, maybe a fire elemental slip through. Who knows? Evil elementals on the loose. That's a story, right? But I suggest having a chat with the owner of the tea shop. Who knows what feathers ruffled, eh? He gives you an ominous look. Where is that man? Owner of the tea shop. He's not at the tea shop. Should I invest in stocks? Oh. I do not give nor have ever given investment advice. But, yes, he looks you up and down. I should ask, have you ever brought shares before, cleric? Uh-oh. I don't think so. Okay, so some basics then. Popularized by the late Divine Era, human adventure companies, a share is essentially a percentage of ownership of a certain venture. More importantly, what is a Divine Era? Divine Era, the third out of the 5 eras when the first gods were born out of the mortal folk. Power and power can entirely fall into their wonderful and fragile hands. Could be a guild, could be some company, or a specific adventure, something that is supposed to grow over time so you can increase your value securities of the venture. It's risky way to increase your capital without actually doing any real work. Gods, it's the devil. This devil is good. Learn from him. Why is it risky? Sounds like free money. Where can I buy stocks? You can buy shares directly from the Venture Trader. Basically, someone can give you a piece of paper that says, I owe you, with some legal information on it. Or you can go to the Trade Hub. I don't think the cost of the exchange is open until after the election, though. Damn. Alright. I have some questions about PBG. Permission of public gathering? Yeah, I think I know where you're getting at. He looks, throws on his shoulder. He's aware of the dwarf's plight. How long does it take to get a PBG? A week, depending on the contracts in your pouch. Can I have a PBG? Not for me. Ask Darrow. Or maybe don't, unless you got some really important message delivered to the people. Okay. Yep. What's a PBG? The imp takes a deep breath. A permission of public gathering is a legal document showing the intent of the magistrate of a certain district to allow an individual of a party represented by that individual to gather in a public place such as the town square, street, or city tunnel to perform, protest, exclaim, fraternize, or any other non-commercial activity. That's all about the PPG. I'm getting hungry. Should we get a snack soon? He stares off in the distance. Oh, you were saying? Nothing. Oh, that's good for me. There. Goblin. Snell. Okay. Rolled like ass. Never mind. Wisdom. You find a goblin standing at the tip of toll stand. Charisma. His clothes are fit for a reason. For a reason trader, and his haircut is fit for an ankly nobleman, a superficial fellow. Behind him, a vast view of the mouth of River Torna. Let me guess, you're the cleric. Taking you for granted, this goblin needs to learn humility. Yes, I am the cleric. That's me. He nods, looking at tired and annoyed. Others have started to notice the cleric in your step. I'm Snell, runner and handler of HWBT. Old lady's been waiting for you. The old lady must be his chieftain, the matriarch of his tribe. Read the goblin kindly. This is the beginning of a great cultural cooperation exchange. Nice to meet you, Snell. Perform a traditional goblin salute. You raise your arms up in the air as one would when greeting or entering uncivilized tribal goblin. What the fuck are you doing? Says Charisma. Cleric, what are you doing? Don't you understand I'm respecting your culture, Goblin? Shake your hands a little. Not feeling it? Goblin does not respond, nor does he raise his own hands. Instead, he simply stares at you. His expression speaks of pain. Please, cleric, stop. I took cringe damage. You feel a great shame. The goblin clears his throat. The goblin looks around, clearly struggling to find the right words. Sleep deprived? Exasperated, more like. Okay, right. Head down to the garden throne, but, he waves a claw towards you. What's all this? You look like a human shit. You've been floating around the banks of the river. Your uniform shows it. He is making a playful jab, don't worry about it. The gall, you should teach him a lesson. I died and was reborn. Whatever do you mean? Whistle. What? I mean, you're covered in grime. You're a man. Men are supposed to be covered in grime and gravel, at least 90% of the time. I don't want to be dirty. Great, you can wash up once we're done here. Just dust yourself off. The dragon's waiting, and trust me, you don't want to disappoint her. Even further, Wisdom says. Alright, tell me more about this lady. Sure, for starters, she's the most powerful woman in Orvik. And considering there was an explosion yesterday right in the middle of her territory, I think it's time you do your damn job, cleric. Is she spooky? Yeah, real scary stuff. Insult her and she'll bite your head off. And she'll scorch your... Okay, so I thought I was going to meet up with a goblin, but no, it's a dragon, and that's amazing. But seriously, she will fuck you up if you annoy her. Not a jest. Alright, okay. Let's go. Good. But just to make clear, some ground rules. Don't say anything stupid. Don't climb the trees. Stay away from the edges. And, he grins, showing off polished fangs. Enjoy the garden, cleric. The goblin scurries down the stairs. He seems to be in a hurry. He is nervous. That makes you nervous. Tell her what she wants to hear, and you'll be fine. You look out over the river. The cold Tuscany wind sleeps through the cracks of your helmet. Earth be blessed. He is always with you. Let's follow him. You do so with great stride. Yeah, sure. Let's go. Great. I don't know where to go. That's clearly a person to talk to. Ness Wicala, Nessun of the Green. At the top of the garden lookout, you see a strange creature hunched over. Underneath a large red hat, her drooping gaze slowly glides towards you. Not a hat, she's got an actual mushroom growing out of her skull. The elf drops a final piece of mushroom into the bowl on the table and gives you a creepy grin. Nice corner you got here. Slowly and in appropriately dramatic fashion, she widens her eyes to reveal piercing red pupils. And her grin widens even more somehow. Her expression leaves your legs weak and not in a good way. Oh gods, she's trouble. She's real trouble. Just look at the side of her head. Look at those. Her ears. White hair. Ashen hue. And those eyes. An elf. Aren't they rare? In your days, you've only seen a handful of those gangly freaks. Elves do not hang around in Norfolk a lot. They usually stay away from the lesser folk. But look at her. This is no elf of Ilium. This is one of those dark elves. Hello, elf. You hear a guttural chuckle leave her lips. A man delves into the garden, his sight set on the mysterious below. Are you that man? Yes, how did you know that? Goblins are not the only ones who whisper underneath. Well, I'm sure there's ghouls and goons as well. She tilts her head and comically large mushroom hat. I'm talking about plants and such. The elf stammers? Or is that a dialect? Well, okay, stop it. I know what an elf is. You don't need to do this. She turned around, her red eyes glimmering beyond the mist spores. Neswelka of the Green. Call me Nessun. I am underling to Hierophant Ophidiana. Of course, a druid. You look into her eyes and you can feel it. She communes with nature itself on the regular. You're a spellcaster. She just gives you a goofy smile and a nod. I spent my days handling primal forces, that which grows and decays. Do you know much of it? No, do you? I learn new things every waking, but no, I would not say I would know much at all. She lowers her gaze for what you realize it's the first time since she raised it. I would like to hear your tale, human. There is much to do to be learned from your folk and your settlement in this band. Settlement? It's a great city-state, not some lone village. How sustainable is your lifestyle? You mean me in particular, or my people? Both, or either. She presses down the mushroom in her bowl, sending a puff of spores into the air. You want an answer now? If you have it. But there is no stress. Sustainable, how do you replenish the resources you consume? And if you do not, how many years until its depletion? Think about it, move on. The elf speaks of the realm, how long until your way of life collapses? To keep one balanced with the primal forces of the land is the only just way to live. Oh gods, you're focusing too much on the question. Instead, focus on what she wants to hear. I personally could live on an apple a day. That's pretty sustainable. Oh, that's not good at all, human. Your kind require much more sustenance. A true statement. Please consume food. Not this guy. Pose with your thumbs in the air. Your legs tremble. Shows you a worried expression. Care for yourself. Do not let the indecision of your goal hinder your healthy lifestyle. She gives you some mushrooms from her bowl. Please, eat. It is as the hedonists say. Listen to your empty stomach. She places a palm against the rough floor. Ophidana has helped keep the undersea from being overtaken by the unbalancing powers. Demigods, fiends, celestials, your human arcanists, each creates a power that not only overtakes the primal, they do so with ease. The great warrior kind waits upon one another, delayed it, but I do not necessarily believe it is inevitable. She speaks of the unsustainable nature of magic. Don't worry, nature always survives. Most often it does, but look at your so-called burned coast, and those cursed lands in Diminor. Nature makes it through most things, but there are forces in the world that can wring the life out of every band it so wishes. Magic is not what it used to be, but she is wise to stay. We must stay vigilant. She takes a deep and deliberate breath. Now enough of your complicated topics. Tell me, human, do you have a mate? The elf speaks of nature as a close ally. You should... Wait, what did you just ask? Stare at her. Well? Your cheeks clench. No, not good. Calm down. This is not a hostile situation. Elaborate. Of course, I apologize if I was vague, human. I only mean most humans in this settlement group up in pairs. I wondered if those of your kind do the same, form such long-term committed partnerships. She did not have any ill intent in her original inquiry. I am the cleric. I go solo. She lowers so much her cap in size. I see. That is a shame, then. The path of an esoteric garden is to be alone. You are never alone, even when it feels like you are. The elf stares, addling some kind of oily liquid into her mushroom bowl. If the old elf can guide you in any way, make it so. If not, I will return to my toil. Who are you voting for in the election? I am not a citizen Norvik. Okay, cool. Cool. What do you know about the tea shop? Only what it roots whispers to me. The elf leans closer, twisting her head to the side. You must delve deep, human. Something rotten happened that day. The green quakes. They fear what's to come. They whisper. And what do you think happened? I will not deliberate on things I have no knowledge about. Refreshing sentiment. What do the goblins whisper about? That the city is at fault, that Lady Sageleaf should take over. The usual. Alright. So you were here when it had exploded? No, I was much further below. Alright, move on. You're welcome. Sure, let's try rolling. Maybe we get lucky. Oh, my +5 worked. Thank you. You kneel. You need to prove it. Your attunement to nature. Interesting. Yes. She places the bowl on her desk to the ground before you. You must show what you've learned in your studies. The primal forces are complicated, but you can still sense the tingle of your strings through every branch of the mushroom. Hold your hand over her bowl. As you reach out, the elf hums. She then moves the bowl even closer to you. You believe that is all that you require. Magic is not an exact science, despite what the instructors at the towers used to tell you. The esoteric in your realm does not conform to rules. That is the only rule they truly follow. Now feel the oily mushroom inside this bowl. Strings within them, around them. Grab one of them, change it. Just a string. I hope I didn't explode us. At first, nothing. Then a twinge. Whatever you touched, it connected you with the spores, the growth, the decay. You did little, but you did something. The elf nods. What did I do? You ruined my brew. Ah, it's fine. Listen. Whoops. She laughs. You cause the fungi in the bowl to change acidity. Subtle, but it's there. You perform the act of druidcraft human. Use druidcraft to unlock unique interactions with the natural world. I did. She gives you a leecher smirk. This one grabs the bowl and pours the mushy mushroom into the ground. The contents were before you. It went bad, huh? It's fine, she reassures you. I'm the one who pushed you. She chuckles and puts the bowl back on her desk. Perhaps you can be one human I share knowledge with, if that is what you wish. Please do. I want to learn. Very well. What do you want to know, human? I wanted to learn how to speak with animals. That shouldn't be too hard. Here, a spell scroll. Help you get started. Cast it when you have an animal to speak with, and you should be able to hold the conversation as long as you keep up. What differs primal from arcane and divine forces? She squints at you and stares at you for a while. The answer to that could be many. I would lean towards saying that they differ in only origin. But that origin makes all the difference in the world. Sure, that makes sense. Good, I am not too good at teaching. I'm more of an exploratory esoterist. She gives you a slow nod. What are the primal forces? Nature. Her face says it is self-explanatory. That includes, but not limited to, elements, life, anything that grows, really. It is that which exists at the core of all. But even after alteration, it remains within. Generally speaking, a clump of ore will be more primal than a forged blade. In short, primal emerges from natural energies. Not following, not interested either. What is druidcraft really? I would call it the most useful path of communication with nature. It can be used for many a thing, but for you, I was just focusing on the basics. Use it to move peacefully through the roots, and to show your balanced nature to those primal spirits who roam below. Okay. Thank you, that's all I have for now. You're very welcome, human. You don't look like an elf. What do elves look like? I suppose there are many kinds of elves. She nods. We do not call ourselves that, but to your people, yes, I am an elf. Primea. She closes her eyes. Primea you olitana. We are elves of the stars. Any questions? You speak Elvish. That's stupid, but yeah. Impressive. She looks to the side and then back to you. Your grasp on the human tongue is remarkable as well. She's too kind. So you're from the Undercoast. How do I get there? Holes and tunnels. There are more than enough, even within viewing distance. Though I'd recommend gaining Lady Sage Leaf's approval first. Great. That's it. Bye. Can I? Yeah, we'll do that. What's my HP at? Still pretty. Yeah. Go. Still one down though. God. I guess I don't have these prepared, right? I have to go prepare a spell. Your stomach twists, beware the illusion. What the hell do you mean, beware the illusion? Right, she's a dragon. This is not her form. Alright. God damn. Goblin, Forest, level 19, Chieftain. Chaotic good. Something is very wrong. Her eyes are striking at your soul. Hold on to that feeling or you will be consumed. She wields power you could only dream of, yet her actions betray her nature. Evil, good. His selfishness for her own tribe, or the defining trait. This creature is no goblin. Though her desire lies heavily invested within this tribe, she is far older and more dangerous than all these servants of hers combined. Okay. Yeah, makes sense. The dragon herself. Makes sense that she is a dragon. The goblin glares at you with his muscles. You approach the throne. The sprites flutter, their glow illuminating the trunk of this great tree, its roots reaching far below, its branches holding up the dirt ceiling above. That is a form a dragon could take. On the throne sits a tiny goblin, her smirk as bright as it is threatening. Her eyes follow you with an intensity reminds you of a certain pale man. So, this is the dragon. Yes, I can see it. Her glare is magnificent. Cleric of Norvik, of Earth and River, her shrill voice echoes through the chamber. She's talking to you, you're the cleric. Great observation! I was assured by your masters, the top brass of the palace itself. Her words are tainted with disdain. Her voice causes you to shiver. They told me a cleric of the highest standing would arrive within the hour, so tell me, human. You should run. No, wait, you can't, but you should. Dominion, she has control here. Oh, friend, this isn't a goblin. This is a dragon. I don't know if you looked at it, but I don't know if Nathan observed her and passed his role. But this isn't a goblin. This is something else that happens to look like a goblin. Why am I sitting here waiting? Tread lightly. You need her on your side. Make sure she knows you're on hers. My apologies, lady. Her frown turns to a wary expression. Whatever. Success. She does not feel like mauling you now. You're dancing a fine line. Hers is frightful presence. Ooh. You need to stand. Do not let her impact your stature. Let's do it. Failure. Fuck. No. Turn and run. Adrenaline keeps your legs from buckling under the tense stress and run. Alright. Fuck. I ran. Whatever reaction the goblins have to your retreat, you are not around to see or hear it. Where am I? You ran for quite a while. When your mind calms itself, you're sitting inside an empty barrel. How did I get here? Fear. It goes a long way sometimes. Wait, I hid in a barrel. Or less. The dragon chased you. Maybe. Leave the barrel. As you do, you realize the barrel is but one of many located in the tunnel you've never seen before. Fuck. There I see him, cleric. Cleric, do not waste another precious hour. Please do not run away again. She is continuing her rage. Containing. Amazing. The lady's trying not to scare you off again. Maybe she'll actually be nicer, you know? You see Snell panting next to the throne. He's been running around for nearly an hour looking for you. The goblin is dedicated, and you'll give him that. I apologize, Lady Sageleaf. Yes, whatever. I know. Let us continue. The dragon leans on her armchair, letting an exhausted groan. It is vexing to watch my streets descend so far. Are you even aware, cleric? A local business caught up in an inferno in the middle of the day, right on Pillar Road. My road. The way she says that causes you to tremble. And yet, the magistrate Darrow, he spits out a name like a cursed sword. Like a cursed word, not a cursed sword. He alone believes the Highway Bridge Tribe does not have jurisdiction over this particular location. She appears to have been stewing over this annoyance for some time. Her anger is pure and intense. She's trying to reel it in. Why does Darrow say that? Because he is a fool born out of nepotism and alcohol. Sick burn. Horrific slander. Where is your usual jurisdiction? She leans back and picks something from between her fangs. I have an official recognition of law on Lower Tulslan. Alright, Where exactly is the shop located? She glares at you. It is or was rented out at the corner of the Capitol Fort, just above the holes next to the pillar. Alright. The holes, a common slang for the central spire of the apartments of Totsland. The lower ones are less fancy. She snaps her fingers towards the goblin to her right. That means it's part of the core foundation of this island fortress, and therefore the property is legally in an underground rental unit, he says, bowing your said lady. My peoples have been handling that damn crow's contract for years. But no, suddenly there's an entire unit up in flames, and when my people no longer have the right to enter the premises, deal with it to clean it up. No, suddenly it's the city's business, and we should keep our noses out of it. Corruption, plain and simple. That sounds shady. Her sharp glare stabs you. Normal business in Norvik, and don't get me started on the actual effect this has on my people. Snell, she says, beckons towards the comely goblin. He approaches the roots to take a bow. Lady Sageleaf. Then he turns to you. The magistrate says it was an accident, involving a fireplace failure. They've yet to send anyone in to actually investigate the scene. You want to check it out yourselves? Of course. The Sageleaf glances at him, to which he responds by making a nervous face. He's embarrassed. The explosion occurred on the 21st of March, just past noon. Who were the injured? We only managed to get one name. It was in the chaos. A certain Frank, son of Frank, was said to have walked away with lesser burns. That's sort of a prefix used for Earthfolk, a human, most likely. Ha! That ain't a real name. He was apparently dressed in a fancy yellow outfit, whatever that means. Beyond that, we have some conflicting accounts. One person said, quote, he looked like one of them dungeoneers, you hear? A real adventuring man, end quote. Another said he was looking to get out of trouble, heading right down the stairs to Water Lane. Dungeon or Water Lane? Both sound like trouble. Where is he now? We don't know. They have not located the man despite major efforts. Do you know anything? Goblin does not respond. Although one of the militia members mentioned him just calmly walking away down the stairs. Maybe down to the crossing or somewhere else, we don't know. Down to Water Lane? Yeah. Seems like he was heading to that direction, though down could mean a number of things, Water Lane included. Was he inside at that time? I doubt it, considering the state of the building. Frank, son of Frank. Yeah. That's a fake name. Uh-huh. A dungeoneer. If you believe it, the comment was from one of the militia members. Could be a smart to check the city below, just in case, despite the dangers. Fancy yellow outfit? I'm assuming some type of Rhodesian fashion. Why was he there? We don't know. He is annoyed to have to answer that question. Anything else? Alright. Snell gives a nervous look to his master before answering. We have theories, but we need proof. The lady raises her claw. The unveiling has begun, cleric. Secrets and ashes. Corruption. Madness. She claws at the wooden throne. Politics. Bureaucracy wears her down. This is clearly the work of a rogue spellcaster, someone who cannot go unpunished. A rogue spellcaster. Isn't there an anti-magic task force we can call for? Why, yes, there is. She points with a sharp finger. You. The Arcana Clerics of Uthgard, one of the few authorized spellcasters groups in the city, often use the task force in esoteric events, accidents, and magical assaults. The lady clears her throat loudly. Everyone holds their breath when she speaks. Dragon of Totsland completed. I completed a quest. I formally declare a joint venture. The Halfway Bridge tribe and the Uthgard city cleric shall investigate the tea shop on Pillow Road and bring justice to those who seek to harm the peace. No creature, foul or fair, shall escape my rage. Her words seep out from her maw, burning the air. Every goblin in the chamber looks upon her in awe. She is theirs to serve. The dragon has spoken. Not solemnly. She looks upon you with a grim expression. The goblin is worried. Her hope is that you step it up and to take on the investigation properly. Her fear is that you will screw it up legendarily. Snell, she says, moving him forward. Yes, Lady Sageleaf, he says, bowing his head. You are the handler of this case. You have worked on this since the explosion. You know more than anyone. Ooh la la, complimented by his queen. I want you to represent the tribe in this venture. His face lights up. And a goblin and a cleric. Together, you will have access to both Upper and Lower Talstan. You're going to have to be pretty boy around. You're going to have the pretty boy around. Damn, I thought this was going to be fun. His expression is that of shock. He did not expect this. Dragon of Talstan completed. Do not disappoint me, Snell. It appears you've received a party member on your divine mission. That had to be a damn goblin. A new member to the party. He ignores you. The goblin takes a deep bow. Yes, Lady Sageleaf. Yours will be done. At your service, Lady Sageleaf. She grins. Yes, you are. Snell takes a step forward. First priority in the tea shop, we need to gain access. Your new goblin companion gives you a quick wave. Let's go, cleric. Snell has joined you as a companion. You can now speak with him if you need help finding your way across Talstan. The lady is keeping information from you. I gathered. I visited the tea shop entrance, but it was shut. Yeah, by esoteric decree. So, you gotta ask your coin lord for the passphrase, unfortunately. Right. How do I get next to the tea shop? Talk to your boss, Darrow. Or, I guess he's not your direct boss or whatever, but you'll need to get an audience with him if you want to get inside the tea shop. We should go look, and we should go look for the witness. Yes, our Frank, dressed in yellow. He winces. God, that's funny. Either over on Water Lane or down the city below. Yep, the port of the dungeon is just a port, since it's slightly less threatening, generally speaking. Alright, let's go. Assuming we need to get 300 gold pieces for that. We have 11. Hey, wait a minute. This is a map. Hey, wait a minute. Hey, wait a minute. This is a lot of map. Oh, this is so much map. We go here. No? Oh, well, what is that? Drunk Phoenix opens at 8. We're still a ways off. Okay, that's the path up to Touchland. Don't want to go there. Alright, what's this? Almost intact and endlessly rising pillar. Center of over. Can we engage with that? Look up at the pillar. Esoteric ebb added. The relics rises upward, endlessly upwards. Right, this whole thing. I think such an esoteric object would just sit here at the center of the city. Not much else they can do about it. This is the highly magical rock left over from the time before time. It was here before Earth, it will remain here after you. Remaining until the end. A gate to another time. How many of these pillars exist? 8? Something like that, one for each band. But ours is the best one, right? They're all equally useless. It's a sign of Earth's power, so yes, this is the best one. They are seen as statues of a status symbol by many, like a legitimization thing. But the fact that is, no one has managed to make use of them in any way, despite their esoteric nature. So the Pillars of Jor are relegated to being visual landmarks, seen from across the coast, through clouds and mist for miles. Can I make money off this thing? No way. They don't even take admission to see it, since it's such a trivial sight. Looks a bit broken. Cracked? Yes. We're certain it is indestructible, but clearly it wasn't one. It was once not. Several pieces of the pillar float around in the air, especially as it reaches towards into the clouds above the city. What kind of power would be capable of damaging this? Gods. Frightening. You can always attempt to focus on it. Learn from this ancient relic. Since you're the master of all esoteric things, you could probably crack the secret of the pillar. Learn how it works and master it and gain ultimate power and so on. As you do, alright, we get closer. As you do, you feel the air itself tingle. Power! He is speaking to you. Touch the pillar. Touch the pillar. The Pillar of Jor. You place your hand upon the smooth surface. The Pillar of Jor, an esoteric relic left at the end of the Great Era. There are 8 of these pillars around the coast, of 4, or 4, if you believe the theories of a warping circular coast. And they are indestructible, though there is some esoteric power within them. No one has been able to make use of them at all. The whisper gets louder. It says something to you, something weird. No? Wait. It's a conversation. One you don't take part in. Can you, guess you can try to join? Yeah, we're gonna try. Disadvantage. Because the goblin is impatient. Speak! Hello? The goblin perks up. Ah, not me. Sorry. The pillar vibrates. Hello. The whisper lies inside of you, or something. Who is here? It says divinity. It says death. It says necrocrat. What? The voice ends. Your hand is repelled from the surface. Ouch. Weird. You understand plainly there is more to this pillar you need to investigate. In time and further below. Okay. Ooh, we're back here. Neat. I know exactly where we are. I recognize that lady. She shares and finds the woman. Alright, no new dialogue options for you. Guess we'll come back tomorrow. Damn, I really wanted to talk to that man now. Alright. That's a shame. I really wanted to be interested in that door. Behold. The slip mailbox says Snell. Oh! This is Snell's house. Let's go into Snell's house. Snell's pad. Behold. It's a bit high up. Family. Huh? Welcome to my pad. Go ahead. Root around as much as you want. Sarcasm. I won't touch anything. I'll just look intensely. I'm not sure how this is in any way useful for the job, but let me know when you're done looking around. Looking, nothing else. How much is the rent? Not so bad, thanks to the old lady. Looks after her own. Not every goblin is so lucky. Yeah, I've noticed you've got pretty nice here. Alright, what do you mean? You know there are 3 tribes in the city, right? The halfways get by real well thanks to Lady Sageleaf. But it didn't used to be that way, and most goblins have a real hard time getting here. Most guilds won't exactly hire a goblin just like that. I see. They must not want goblins due to the goblin nature of them. I mean, you guys. What? That's illegal. I know. Doesn't stop them. We're not human, so by default, on average, we're not trusted. Back in the day, there were apparently a bunch of programs meant to push us into the workforce, anti-discrimination laws, goblin public work projects, but the support for those has ran out way before I was born. So most kids just want crime. They can't do that. In Norbert, it's illegal to be a criminal. That's arguably one of the dumbest things you've ever said. You clearly haven't heard everything I've said. Dumbest things so far. Imagine you're a goblin kid, you spend the most of your day in the ward and 20 others your age. There's barely any resources to actually teach you all the human stuff, so you're legally forced to be taught. If you're lucky to get one of the parent with a stable income, otherwise you'll be living in the dormitories. No support system, no chance to integrate into the city you're supposed to be living in. If you're lucky, you'll get a dangerous gig in the town. Alright, this is a lot of things telling me the kids are impoverished. Then you bring home a heavy pouch of crowns for your mom and pops. What are they going to do? Turn their little kid in? Or accept that the only major income in the household is gone in months? Maybe they'll even encourage you, push you to a real friendly with a local runner. But it's not like this in the halfways. It's complicated, but the halfway breach tribe is classified as a syndicate. We run things in a similar sense to the Shiki and the NMBT, except we do things strictly by the book. We don't run drugs, for one. The Shiki, one of the 3 goblin tribes in Orville, commonly called the Water Goblins due to their river expertise, led by a council of 3 Nilbogs, housed in the lighthouse. They call it the Wizard's Tower in Dagby. We keep Waterling free of smuggling. But most importantly, we keep the youth out of it, and we keep the other tribes at an arm's length. Lady Sageleaf is a real draconian in that regard. Everyone, and I mean everyone in our tribe, gets a job and a good salary. We tried pushing this method, our support system onto other tribes, but it's hard and not always popular. We're the small, annoying, cultish tribe of Tolstland, after all. So it is what it is. What a rant. Cares about this. A lot. You do too. You're working hard for your lady. I sure do. Alright, cool. Thanks, bed. Leave. I'll go take a nap later. It's still early in the day. Oh, we can go down here now. The goblin's not blocking the path anymore. I guess we're over here now. Neat. Those before left many holes in the background. Oh. Back over here. Double need, I guess. Suppose we'll go this way. Everything is annoyingly connected in ways I do not expect. About the rally. Okay. Careful now, the situation is on the blade's edge. You could either taunt him to see if you can get him to act out, or you could try to reason with him. Or simply tell them to leave. Dwarf is pulsating with their surge of masculinity. This might be the start of a fight, if you're lucky. God, do we want to fight? It'd be kind of funny if we do. A pretty noble like you wouldn't want to get arrested now, would you? You see the anger in his glare. The rage. Are you trying to get him to punch you? That's genius. Keep taunting him. He'll have no choice but to run away if he assaults a cleric. If he dares to strike at a cleric, then he will surely rage on the city. Blood means nothing if accomplished this myself. Call him a hypocrite. That pisses him off. You're a hypocrite and a fraud, Alphaz. Shut your filthy mouth. Alpha holds out a hand towards his men. They do one more than you, cleric. This is it. You're at the breaking point. Just one more push, and then we can go to kill. If you want to, of course. This is quite mean. You're attempting to hurt his ego. You'd be nothing without mommy and daddy. Cleric, he says. Don't you dare. His expression says bloodlust. Get him to try to punch you. Come on, charisma. We've got... No! Thank God for our save! Alright, so you want to piss off this guy? Great. Just mention his nobleman status. Again, he hates the fact that they'll always have the hangover every comes in his life. Don't worry. When you're arrested, you can just ask mommy and daddy to hire an expensive barrister. He seems to hit you square in the stomach. Cleric! The goblin reaches towards the stops halfway. Pain erupts throughout your lower abdomen in an incredible jab. A series of hoots and laughs. They loved watching the four men punch you. Cleric, what the hell did you think you were going to happen? Exactly this. Victory! The armor did nothing. Uh-huh. Alright, just a little joust. You hear laughter coming from the tall woman. The dwarves start packing up their tools, potentially following Alfred's order as he calls it out. You're no cleric, you're just a free strider thug. If you see you again, you're done. You've left the standing of the cleric square, but at what price? I guess that worked. Hammer. I have things I want to add. This is free. I need to do this more often. I forget. This is just something I have. I have to say, with all due respect, well done. Right, the dwarves. Ah, yes. I saw the whole thing. The whole thing? Yes, highly impressive work. Getting Mr. B.E. so worked up that he'd assault a city cleric. Genius. Just like you planned. Well done, cleric. The X9 Reeds Trading Company is in your debt. It was the right thing to do. Hey, friend. Indeed.
I've returned.
Cleric, as token of my personal gratitude, she hands you a patch of the coins. Give me another job. No. Oh, that hit the spot. Good to see you're satisfied. I'm sure I can find some of your services again. She gives you a kind smile. May your earth smile upon you. And do visit the trading post down the Waterland if you have time. I would love to see you there. She would love to make use of you there for profit. We will meet again, Agent Vera. Quest complete. Let's get the fuck out of here. But
How goes the adventure, friend?
it's such a large city. There's a goblin lady that is a dragon, and I wanted to flirt with her, but unfortunately it never came up. Engage. Prepare spells. I wish to prepare, speak with animals. And cure wounds. Shield the Faith. I have a lot of attacking. Pray. Ooh, there's a lot here, huh? There's a lot more stuff now that there were in the beginning. Contemplate women. They exist. They prosper. You will not have one. Or they are not yours to have. Though there might be some who fancy you. If you show yourself to be a good man. Or bad, if you wanted the baddies. Contemplate the Dragon of Tolstand. A famous goblin leader. Her reach sharp, her gaze strong. She wants you to investigate the cheese shop and report to her. The content of that report will determine much. Horrifying. Contemplate the tea shop owner. A burnt folk on the run. Shop is in ruins. What sort of business did he conduct there? Okay. Coin Lord of Morvik, a powerful man with much to lose. Fails his grip, there is no reason to appease him. If he retains it, you are wise to stay his eye. Contemplate the Star Witness. One strange detail, a fake name. A man in yellow, follow the trail. Contemplate the Pillar of Jor, go deeper. Meditate. Burn and study. Contemplate your fall into the river. It was not an accident. You are not so clumsy. But the question is here is not why you fell. The question is, why did you live? Hey, the zombie's gone. Horrifying. My god, the HWBT. Oh, good to know. Why is there a crate filled with sand down here?
Where else would it be, friend?
Hey, Snow, what's up with the weird crate of sand? The goblin glances over at what you're doing. Let's see, that's a... His eyes shoot open very, very wide. Nope, back off right now. You're scared of a little sand? I'm trying to keep you alive, dumbass. That bad, huh? Yep, do not touch that shit. As the two of you a few steps away from the crate, he takes a breath. That, cleric, is a crate of mosquito sand. Without explaining further, the goblin sneaks up behind the crate and grabs the lid. Moving more carefully than you've ever seen him move before, he gently places the lid on top of the crate once more.
I do deeply enjoy that one of the options was
Do it anyway?
How much of a man
Yeah,
I am
he's
by
like,
touching the sand.
I unfortunately did not go with the strength route. I went the wisdom route. So we almost always ignore that option. Something must have started it to make it push up him like that. He wipes his open brow. What would it have done to me if, from what I understand, it would have choked you, drained you of blood, and slowly mushed you inside that crate?
Neat.
Now let's leave it the fuck alone. Okay. Good to know. I woke up here. Oh, right on that slab. Yup. That must have been uncomfortable. It was, yes. Uh-huh. Well, at least you had a lot of apple seeds when you woke up. He's making a joke. I sleep tonight? I don't know, cleric. He gives you the look. Can't the city pay for something? You're a cleric, for God's sake. I can just not sleep. That's fine, right? Are you asking for permission? You'll get exhausted if you don't sleep, cleric. If you don't take a long rest, 8 hours before dawn, you get 6 levels of exhaustion. Holy shit. If you get 10 levels of exhaustion, you die. Actually, I really should go find a place to sleep. Smartest thing you've said all day. Can I sleep with you? No. And seriously, don't phrase it like that. Maybe I can sleep with Viskin? Probably too warm for him, and don't phrase it like that. Your thoughts on land the spell Ray of Frost and how it could have solved this issue. The goblin is joking. Can I sleep in the goblin garden? No. Or I mean, he thinks about it for a second and then once again says no. I can just sleep here. Just here? Yeah, it's not so bad. Right here. His reaction to the statement will not change no matter where you go on this river fortress. Okay, maybe not. Yeah. I guess I can ask the coin lord. Yeah, there was your boss. Guess you got another thing to talk to him about. Fun. Alright, let's go. Let's keep exploring. Alright, there's a down and then there's not a down. Let's avoid going super down for now. Oh, hey, we're over here now. Why is everything connected? Jesus fucking Christ.
This is what I meant by, like, Nathan got here too, but a different way.
He got past the person. He got past, he beat up the zombie. My god, he's just...
Yes, and then he went down. Well, no, I think he talked to the wizard and he got good checks to be like, hey, can you, like, move him or something?
He got... That was a DC 30 for me. What the fuck? Taking a step forward, you touch a thin cord. Fuck. Something soft latches itself around your ankle. A contraption is now in motion. What is that? A snake or something? Aw. I'm not gonna make this. Oh, never mind. Fuck. Never mind. It tightens around your boot. With a violent tug, you are forced to the ground, hitting the back of your head on the steps. Before you can even react, your entire body has been dragged over the edge. Cleric? No, 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 no! You're falling, but not far. With a painful snap, your descent is stopped, and now you're simply left hanging. Seems like I'm a bit of a pickle. The goblin leans over the edge with a frown. The mechanism below, I can't reach it. I can try to grab you once to make it up here, but you gotta do most of the work. Can't you get a rope, or something? No time, just take a deep breath, you can make it. Look up at the rope. You see how it's connected to a series of pittons wedged below and the side of the stone walkway? Next to you is hanging a rock that acts as a counterweight. How long can I hang like this? Not long. Your skull is pulling. Within minutes, you will lose control of your mind. Okay. But a final deep breath. You feel the numbness spread as you heave upwards, and one glove hand grabbing the rope, then another. Through sheer power, you pull your entire body weight upwards, climbing higher and higher until the green glove grabs your hand. Your goblin companion groans as he helps you up. Roll over the edge. Get off the rope. Fingers dart around your ankle, desperate to remove the last rope. Rip it off and toss it to the side. Free, safe, alive. What kind of evil piece of shit makes a trap like this? Someone who wants you dead. A hunter, maybe? The goblin stumbles back. Fucking hell. You realize you've been holding your breath. Lips are probably turning blue. Breathe. I need to breathe, damn it. Air fills your lungs. You are alive. Thanks. Now, that was a nasty trap. I don't think I could have noticed it either. The companion looks disturbed, but still don't let that happen again. All right. Check out the rope. Extremely shimmery rope, thick, soft to the touch. You don't know the name of this material. Must be exotic. At the knots, you see a series of burned-in letters. Someone left a message on the ends of the rope itself. Behold, Bulbaschlop. Bulba, the last of the Titans, fought against the dragons in Vorgeni, died in the Hushi Swamp. His corpse spawned many monstrosities across the coast. Trade. Creepy. Don't look at that, what that means, but I don't like the look of it. Really, really don't. Okay, let's go. I don't like there's an autosave. Pouring rush moons, must be tasty. Oh, this is just more. Why is there more?
You know why there's more.
Horrifying. Shard.
Yeah, this is where Nathan ended up exploring, I think, first.
A door. How interesting. You approach the firmly shut doors. They appear to not be open. I hate these things. OWD sprouting up like the weeds across the dungeon. Terrible, horrifying even. OWD. One-way door. He taps the wooden surface. Completely impervious to damage and force. Unopenable via whatever esoteric bullshit keeps that place afloat. Unless you stand on the other side of it, at which point it opens like a door of a friend. Roguelite Knight. So I need to find the other side in order to open it. That's the logic here, yes. Right, well, I'll have to keep an eye out. This is pretty awful. A rat. Not really running from me. Alright. I'm not gonna grab the fucking what. Actually, it could be useful. I have a white rat now.
Bug.
Alright, I'm glad my wisdom came in clutch there. Oh? You detect something unusual about the section of the wall. Specifically, the ornate skull. This is a doorway. What's up? Points to the wall. He squints at it. Oh yeah, that's just a passage to the crypt. You know about all the secret doors down here? Just this one. It's right by the roots. It changes every other month or so, so we don't keep watch. Gotta make sure it stays closed. Ever since you Claire stopped doing delves periodically, the undead sure have gotten a bit messy. Yeah, we really have fucked up with that policy of non-delving. I get the reason behind it, gotta focus on the upstairs, but it's risky to leave defending the belly of the third parties, I'd say. Even if we're doing a fucking great job, all things considered. Anyway, if you want to check inside, you could probably hit that tile over there. Run your hand along the surface. Your gloved fingers trace the stone. Smooth, cold, ordinary. But wait. One section feels different. A tile. Distinct from the others. Press the tile. You push. Soft clink. The wall shudders, then slides open. Anywho. Feeling a dark passage below. Cold air rushes out. Yep. Something. Death. Sweet. I'll keep my sling ready. Let's fucking go. Who needs safety when we can just be in Earth's first crypt? Horrifying amount of skulls. Oh, hey, another rat. Black rat. -1 constitution. Why are all these rats bad for my stuff? Oh. 1,000 dead. Ugh. I hate this place. A literal pile of skulls. Thousands. Each a life taken by war, suffering, or time itself. The eternal cycle. We'll join them soon. This is insane. So many bodies. Know well about this. This was the first of the containment crypts. I don't like the name of that!
What do you mean, friend?
Containment crypt. An area designed as a confinement for bodies to avoid the risk of undeath. Many were erected beneath Norfolk during the years attempted to reclamation of the cursed lands. Okay. Well, that's fine then. Built for himself by himself. These bones belong to the curse victims, those claimed by the Curseland horrors. Destined to rise as undead hordes, Earth sent many expeditions to the east, each an attempted to reclaim the spirits, the literal bones of those who were left behind. Entire ships were loaded with many, many bodies brought ashore to Norwood and put into these crypts. Unmarked graves, yes, but concentrated all the same in an attempt of total redemption. Putting them all under the city was a pretty ballsy move. No, that's yes. It was. As you can see, it was a success. These bones do not move, they do not held. Oh. They are not held in the crazed vitriol of negative necromantic energy. They are at rest even in this word state. Alright, watch them carefully. So these are all people who died in the Curse Lands. Yes, the greatest tragedy of your people. This is how they ended up, simply due to the issue of numbers. There were too many bodies to give proper burial rites to each of them, even after the burning of the flesh. Since ocean or river burials are even more problematic due to the horror issues, this was the best option. Firehead and then leave. Okay. History lesson. Oh, hey, undead. A horde noise. Dark. Moving, a mess of rusty iron and clattering bones. Moving towards you. Oh, no, no. I hate the crypts. It calls to you. Roll initiative! My first combat!
Yeah, Nathan did this fight like almost immediately.
Oh my god, Nathan wasn't level 2?
No, it went terribly.
Incoming undead. It's set on killing you. I am on half health. Whatever. Taking soda steps towards you, the skeleton raises the sword hand. I'm almost dead. The blade comes down, striking you in the shoulder. A bone-chilling streak emanates from the skull. Destroy it! Don't you have some holy magic against this thing? The goblin brings out his sling. In one swift move, he launches a projectile towards the abomination.
Yeah, I don't even think he had, like, the goblins. I think he soloed it.
It flies right through the open ribcage. You must defend yourself and smite this foul abomination. The bones are outside of the body. You must return. They must return. Can't I just tell it to stop? Being friendly never hurts. Fuck. Would hugging it help any? No. Fuck, I'm failing all my rolls. Oof. You attempt to move with the attacks, but just end up stepping in your face. Nearly fall over, but not quite. This might be your last chance. The skeleton is growing more and more frantic. The skeleton gives us a deep hiss as it again strikes at you. Oh! Stabbing me right in the chest. This time, stabbing you. Okay. The male stops from reaching your heart. Focus. Letting go of his sling, Goblin instead goes for a kick to the skeletions. While the creature is jittering about, Snell still managed to hit it, sending it scrambling through the green button. Now, get him! You'll have to push it forward. Fight! Alright. God damn, my rolls are such ass! Alright, the skeleton is about to strike when a Snell rushes legs a full body slam. It causes the skeleton to completely fall, crashing into the hard ground. Ha! That's what you get! The bone will spill onto the ground and a pile of dust in the middle scrap. No other threats, the skeleton must have been the only guardian. Thank you, Snell. A great battle, catch your breath. I did nothing during that battle. Holy shit, Snell soloed it. You perform your duty, this crypt has been cleansed. That's an overstatement. The goblin leads in, God, I hate crypts. Nothing good ever comes from constructing a crypt. You either get a cursed place filled with death, or a meat grinder filled with undeath. Agreed. Until we burn corpses these days. Really, a genuinely smart tradition. Best things human have ever invented. Oh, Oh yes, for sure. Bang from somewhere far away goes down the hallway. The goblin jumps. A shiver down your spine, then the chambers grow silent once more, the scent of death still lingers. Fuck this place, let's go. Hold on, I have to make sure this warrior gets what he deserves. Which is... good old-fashioned looting, right? I get it. I'll do what I must. We take it. Inventory. God, none of my spell books are worth shit. Alright, let's go back to what is currently full health. I want this, no. First tomb of Earth. Why is this broken open? This is it. This is the first place his body was placed. 27. Oh my god, that's such a little time ago. Your lord, your master, your god, Earth. Fallen and exhumed, like the city. Watch closely. This is how every divine dominion ends. The crackling of an ugly tomb. This place is still holy, consecrated. Despite those horrors, still walk the grimy tiles. Earth traces still linger here as it should. Okay. God, is that a mace?
Mm-hmm.
We'll take it. Holy shit, a real weapon.
Yeah, and they took it very early in the game. It went terribly wrong, but...
Did he not beat the thingy?
Yeah, but, you know, it cost him everything.
What do you mean?
All his health, his spell slots.
Nathan had spell slots, my god.
You have spell slots, it's at the bottom left.
I know, but I didn't realize Nathan did. I thought he was a wizard.
You're all clerics.
There's something here. What? The goblin reads the sling. Where? Look down at the mace. Something very, very wrong with it. Wait, did I just get cursed? Fuck! No, it's there again. The figure. On the periphery. Watching. Spin around. Nothing. Gone. But you know it was there, and you felt it. This thing is haunted. What? He stares at the maze. You sure? I'm sure. Great. Haunted weapons. Just what we needed. Damn this. You find this lovely weapon ready to take on the city's phalanx, and you simply cannot wield it. The horror, like some unfleshy gas, come to haunt you is too great. Keep it sealed. Keep it closed. Spirit watches. Okay, but like... I'm dumb. Ah, -2 strength. That's interesting. But it does give me +2 con and +1 wisdom. It's not like I'm using strength anyway.
But friend, think about what Mr. Strength would say.
Can't be helped. Tomb of a Fighter, it's empty inside except... Yo. More money. I fucking love money. The Cryptid of an Archer, it's empty. Yo, more money. I fucking love money. I love robbing the dead. There's nothing I love more. That's a separate way up. This is Bart Tide, okay.
Or down. I swear to God, if I'm... The roots, the city below. Hey! An orc. Moongore, HWT Guardian. Behold. I know nothing of this person. Human. A hairy beast towering over you. Its face contorted into a stern, and probably permanent, frown. Watch yourself. This is Halfway's territory. She notices Snell with you and gives him a nod. Runner? Hey, Moongore. Things going well? They are going. She nods in your direction. This is your cleric? Yeah, seems so, yeah. I thought he'd be taller, she says with a scoff. Bow, I am the cleric. Nice to meet you. The bugbear places a hand on her weapon. Do not cause trouble. Your commitment to cleric-ish behavior runs deep. Gain 40 XP. A morning star. Beware. Wait, which one is the ball on the chain and which one is the ball on the stick? A club? Keeping it simple. Great. She will not use it. You look like a great warrior. And woman? Attempt to flirt. I do not look like a human. I am. I agree. A lot, like a lot. What are you attempting here? Villagenistic agenda updated. She laughs mockingly. Some type of courtship? You are a fool. Prove yourself worthy and I might look your way, you buffoon. Okay, I'll do that. Yeah, good luck. She scoffs. In a way that makes you shiver. Have you seen a man in yellow pass by here? She grunts. Is that a yes? I did. Oh, you're looking for this man? Grunt conspicuously. The bugbear shows you a deep frown and says, if you see him, stick a knife through his heart for me. Wait, why? I saw him approaching from the pillar chamber, told him to stop and step away from the halfway turf, but that bastard, he cast a spell on me. That's awful. No, I was weak. I saw him approaching, he wore an ugly yellow robe, then he said a few words and I suddenly happily allowed him to pass. A charm of some kind, I was helpless like a kid. God, I hate kittens. Run away from her before it's too late. Alright, what else can you tell me about him? He had slightly darker skin, unlike most pale humans in Norvik. He carried a backpack and several things, tools. How much darker exactly? Somewhere between a tan hill goblin and pale fell orcs. Alright, very good information, thank you. She shrugs. You hate kittens? Yes, any child beast, really. They are too weak to survive on their own. This is a disgusting feature of adolescence. This chick is crazy, Charisma says.
Charisma getting danger signals.
In which direction did he go? Through the south caves. She points towards the damp tunnels on the slope. I warned him about the monsters as he walked by because of that darn spell. I would have hoped for him to be dinner of some hook horror or a dark mantle, but the bastard turned invisible as he entered the tunnel. I hate wizards. Yeah. I can't stand those nerds. The bugbear lets out a grunt. Clearly signifying that she's done with this part of the conversation. Thank you, Wisdom. Can I have that spell scroll you got? No, of course not. I got this as a gift. I can't just give it away, please? No. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay. Lots of successes there for, like, no reason. I have some question about the explosion. I felt a slight rumble from the earth. I was down here guarding the roots. Just a little rumble? I'm assuming it was most ferocious force of magic or nature if it created a quake all the way down here. There. I defeated that skeleton in the crypts. You did? Well, I am impressed. Less for us to worry about. Damn. No more flirting. Looks like we're done there.
What's it like working for the HWBT? They are good. Lady Sageleaf is a great leader. Her power is overwhelming. Okay, so, like, this isn't the right word because that would kill me. We're not doing that one. I agree. The little goblin woman is enough to break a dozen men. Or more. She looks way from mine. I've been given life here, a purpose. If you don't enjoy living among your kind, the goblins are a fine people. Thanks. Not you in particular, Weasel. Weasel? I don't think I've deserved to be called that. It's a pretty good nickname. Fuck off. The bugbear chortles. So you guard primarily? Yes. I do tend to the guarding duty very well. Keeping dampness at an appropriate level, communicating with Lord Pooh when the Dark Elf requires elf. Okay. The druid, has she taught you magic? No, Nissan has shown me tricks. I have no interest in magic in its foul nature. You got some other questions? Of course you do. Let's get the fuck out of here. Is there anything else down here we want? This isn't the way. It's a giant snail. Gigantic hail snail. The air itself grows freezing cold as you heat deeper into the tunnel until you find a passage blocked by a spiral shell. It's a massive unit of a hail snail. It fills the entire eastern passage. He's just a little borod. Nothing wrong with that. Gigantic hail snail. The hail snail moves with its thick head, its blue eyes stalking, focusing on you. Probably. You ever seen a snail like this before, Snell? I mean, yeah. The goblin walks up to it and looks it up and down. He looks almost proud. This big guy's been here for months. Last time I was here, he was facing slightly to the left. Moving closer to, you do see that the snail has been moving. Maybe 10 degrees or 5. Not very fast. The frozen mucus slowly melting around it indicates pattern. Yes. It is rotating, or in layman's terminology, the snail is turning around. It'll be done by next year, probably. Then it'll head straight out the tunnel in another 1 or 2. Snell, isn't the creature blocking your goblin operations in some way? At first, yeah. Sageleaf had plans of cleaning up the roots and establishing a mushroom farm across the south and east tunnels. But the prospect of dealing with the kind of cleanup duty wasn't exactly something people were excited by, so when this big boy fell out of a crack last year, the whole thing got postponed, and lots of halfway people were very, very fine with it. He points back to the tunnel. And ever since, we've only had to deal with an invasion from the south tunnels. So this leads to these tunnels. Yep. I wanted to go to these tunnels. Are you saying that only because you can't go there? Yes. Trust me, everything east of here is shit. The east tunnels just lead to a bunch of dangerous trap-filled spiral halls leading to a shifting falls and the water temple. Technically, there are some routes that lead to the lower palace and as well, but if you want to go up there, you better be... Alright. I'm already excited for it. You don't have to try to sell it, Snell. The goblin just looks at you. He's giving a type of neutral, disassociated look. Basically, this snail halved our work down here, is what I'm saying. I want to pet the snail, Hale. That would be very cold. A lovely sentiment, but it could hurt you quite a lot. Frostbite is no joke. Could probably make a joke about frostbite if you tried hard enough. People have lost limbs, fingers, noses, even toes. It's not a joke. Oh, I got one. What do you call a guy who lost his toes to frostbite? No, don't. Come on, don't be boring. Seriously, don't. Fine, you'll never hear the punchline then. Good. One less mean joke in the world. I pet the snail. You reach forth and place your gloved hand upon the teal mucus-covered shell. It is hard, and the air is freezing cold. Your hand begins to burn. Pull back your hand. Ouch. You have to touch everything. I figured it was clear by the bone frigid temperatures that it was really stupid to pet the magical ice snail. But that's just me. A deep clinking emanates through the eastern tunnel. The hail snail speaks. Oh, is that what they sound like? Rub your frozen hand. By the gods, don't get angry. Just, we let this guy. The snail is not angry, not those clicking. They are happy noises. Good luck, snail. But I have speak. What do you mean, no reason that I can? When I not talk to the snail? Why do I even get to speak with animals if I can't speak with the snail?
Please, friend, snails aren't animals.
Absolutely dog shit. What do you mean I can't talk to the snail? Such a horrifying visage. Alright, what's happening here? Stepping in front of the petrified person and the statue, you get a sudden sense of paranoia, as if someone is listening in. It's difficult not to, you are very loud. Look around. Over here, buddy. By the nose. Why are you thinking in a squeaking little voice? Who said that? Gah. Stop thinking so loud, it's giving me a headache. Your eyes land upon the nose of a stone statue. At the very tip, you see something. Something tiny and unremarkable. A simple ant. Unremarkable? Says the cranium ant. We might be tiny, but trust us, we've got a bite. Are you inside my head? We are one of many. Freaking great. Freaking great to meet you, buddy. On esoteric ants, you can call us One. We didn't really used to have a name since we're a hive mind, so One will do for now. Right, good to meet you, One. Yeah, good to meet you too. The goblin stares at you, then stares at the statue. You having a moment or something? Shh, I'm talking to an ant. Of course, I apologize. He gives you a worried look.
Very well, I'm sorry, I wasn't aware of your game.
Talk to my companion as well, ant. Right, sup, dude? You a goblin? Snell perks up and looks around. Psychic ant points to the statue's nose. Oh! He gets ready to smash it. No, relax. We're alone, and we just need to ask a favor. The goblin stops. You know how much trouble your cranium ants cost us? We had to hire a specialist just to get you to leave. Yeah, it was a whole thing. But we left. You won, so let bygones be gones. As they say. He stares at the ant for a few seconds, then he frowns. Fuck it, sure. As long as you guys don't return, then fine, what do you want? We need your help. We were driven from the area a while ago, but we left me behind. You mean I? This whole identity thing is really new to me. I've never been disconnected from the hive for this long before. It's really difficult. You don't want to be an individual. I think it's pretty great. I haven't really thought about it too much. But sincerely, that just sounds like a thing for you non-hivers. But if you help me out, how about we give you something in return? Oh, that sounds like a quest. Yes. We know the location of a secret stash. It's buried in the undercoast path, like below this place. Below the city below? Right below it. That's low. Sure is. The undercoast path is, well, it leads all the way down to the undercoast. Right past the gravity lip, although you won't need to go that far down. It's too dangerous for someone like you anyhow. Beware, the ant might be small, but it is still psionic. You must help this creature. It is asking for your help, and it would really not be that much of a hassle. Be nice, carry the ant. It's really great also, because the ant can also hear our fucking psychosis. And I think that's a nice little touch. I will get you to your brothers, my friend. Yay. You're a real cool guy, buddy. We'll be sure to remember you as one of the good ones once I get back. Oh, that's a bad phrase. Alright, so, questioning time. You should go down below to the undercoast path and let them talk to the ant. Just pick him out from back when it's time, or something like that. Thanks. Beware monsters. I can't. Ah. Divine Arrow Mural. A tall stone mural
Hello.
descends before you.
Wheel,
Three separate figures
wheel.
carved in the paint.
How's Ebb going?
I have,
You
uh,
got to the sewers. Where you at?
I talked to a psychic hands.
good. Yeah, I was gonna
Like-
say,
like, I don't
is
know
he in
how
an
you,
area that's spoilers for me, or is he like?
No.
just random?
Well, yes, actually.
Okay, well,
Because he's gone further than you did before. He did get to the
Mhm.
skeleton you fought off the rip,
gotcha.
but then he went further.
Gotcha. Yeah, because I only have 3.9 hours total.
Save.
I was like, you can keep going. I have a pizza going for another 4 minutes.
No.
Yeah,
It's
but like
time.
reload a Minecraft, and Minecraft doesn't take, or Pal
True.
World, whichever force sides. Palcraft World.
Of course, it's up to you to
Stop
save.
streaming. I'm down for either. We'll see you soon enough.